What made you fall in love with your partner even more? My husband Daniel had been unemployed for 6 months when I found him in our garage at 2 a.m., surrounded by lumber and power tools, building something massive. We were behind on bills, our savings depleted, and I'd been pulling double shifts to keep us afloat. "What are you doing?" I asked, exhausted and immediately angry. "Did you spend money on wood?" He looked up, sawdust in his hair, eyes red from lack of sleep. "It's from demolished houses. I got it free from construction sites. I'm building something." "Building what?" "We need you finding a job, not playing carpenter." He set down his drill. "Mrs. Blue's wheelchair ramp. Remember? She mentioned she can't afford one, and winter's coming." Mrs. Blue was our 80-year-old neighbor who'd broken her hip. Her son lived across the country, and she'd been essentially trapped in her house. "Daniel, that's sweet, but we can't even afford." "I know," he interrupted. "I apply to jobs all day. Nobody's calling back. But this? I can do this. I can't fix our situation tonight, but I can fix hers." I watched him work until sunrise, precisely measuring, carefully sanding each piece so Mrs. Blue wouldn't get splinters. He'd downloaded building codes to his phone, ensuring everything was regulation safe despite no one checking. When he installed it that weekend, Mrs. Blue cried. She tried to pay him, but Daniel refused. "You made us soup when Lisa was sick," he said. "Neighbors help neighbors." Word spread. Another neighbor asked if he could build a fence. Then someone needed shelf installation. Daniel charged materials only, no labor. I was furious. We needed money, and he was working for free. "They're offering to pay," I argued. "They're offering out of pity," he corrected. "I won't take advantage of kindness." But then something shifted. The people he'd helped started recommending him for actual jobs. Mrs. Blue's son hired Daniel to renovate his mother's bathroom, paid full contractor rates. The fence neighbor got Daniel a meeting with his company about custom furniture. Within 2 months, Daniel had more work than he could handle. He could have raised his prices then, capitalizing on demand. Instead, he implemented a sliding scale. Wealthy clients paid premium rates. Elderly and struggling neighbors paid materials only. He hired our unemployed neighbor Terry as an assistant, teaching him the trade. One evening, I came home to find Daniel at the Kit Blue table, crying over his laptop. I thought something terrible had happened. Instead, he showed me an email from a single mom he'd built a playhouse for. Her daughter, who was autistic and rarely spoke, had said her first full sentence in months. "Daddy would have loved this." The father had died in Afghanistan. Daniel had known this and painted the playhouse in military camouflage with hidden stars on the ceiling. Details the mother hadn't requested, but the daughter discovered at bedtime. "I couldn't give them their dad back," Daniel said, "but I could give them this." That night, I fell in love with my husband all over again. Not because he'd found success. We were still struggling financially. But because when life knocked him down, his response wasn't bitterness or self-pity. It was to get up at 2 a.m. and build wheelchair ramps for elderly neighbors. Daniel's business thrives now. He employs 6 people, all formerly unemployed neighbors he trained. His waiting list is months long, but he still does free emergency repairs for seniors. Every piece has a small signature, a tiny heart carved into the wood where only the owner would notice. Last month, Mrs. Blue passed away. In her will, she left Daniel her father's woodworking tools from Japan, worth thousands. The note said, "For the man who built me freedom when I needed it most."